Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. The lighting's. I got all kinds of light over here, and it's not shining through. So, well, good evening, just the same. We got Colombian Scarface drug trafficker, and then meets with Sam, the Colombo family, up here, and they say that. Oh, thank you. Hey, did you watch the fireworks last night? Pretty good, pretty good. I got them in there. So, you see how they say no drugs, no cocaine, no nothing for in the mafia. Okay, we'll get by that. We'll get by that. Every family sold drugs. Okay, every crime family sold drugs. My godfather was running around doing work for mostly the Colombo family, and he freelanced with some other families for whatever work he had to do. And he was familiar with those Colombians in Harlem and Bronx and Bronx and everything else. He was familiar with them. And the captains in the family that I knew, I saw them with big bags of cocaine before, where they told me, don't tell Sam, don't tell Sam. Sam knew anyways. So Sam M was the boss of the family that was up here in Western New York. And they, very lucrative. And at first they saw another family doing it, but it was so prevalent and everybody wanted a piece of the pie. And then that to network straight from the Colombians instead of, the Italians having to go to Harlem and the Bronx to get it off of those guys. Why not just go to the Colombians? And the families don't talk about it. Well, I was up at the club and I was outside hanging out. I had a racing for him. And this guy comes up. He pulls up in a big, flashy, expensive car. Never saw him before. Colombian, good looking. He looked like the guy from the movie, Tony Montana's connection in Colombia. Guys are slick businessmen. Slick. Not them fly-by-nighters you see, these roly-poly guys. No. So I go over there and I go in and then they tell me stay outside. Okay. And so he had said something to me and I heard his accent and I was like, yeah, you could tell Colombian. And so I'm looking at him. And I go around to the front. I don't go through the back entrance because I could go through the restaurant bar area up front. And I'm just up there and I can trying to listen into the room. And it's him and Sam talking. And they're talking cordial and everything. And thanks, J-Biz. Yeah, I had a great job. You see the fireworks I posted? So I figured they want to be, they're going to be busy. Sam, the boss, and this Colombian dude. I can't remember his name. He had a real true Colombian name. I can't remember it. Like the Medellin and all that, those names from the Medellin cartels. And so she hollers back, Joe. He said, no. Hey, come in. So Sam is forecasting retirement down in the near future, close proximity. Sam's gonna be retiring, close proximity. Nothing was ever really uttered about cocaine at the club. Maybe one of the captains was backdooring money to Sam, not letting the other the Colombos in New York know or whatever they did. They're just trying to chill, make the money and whatever's frowned upon. But out of the 5 families, crime families that you've heard of. The Colombo family was more into coke and heroin, I would have to say, than anybody else. And they used my godfather for different things, not just muscle or doing other work, but sometimes maybe there was a shipment or something, and just in case there wasn't any foul play, you have somebody watching the money and you have somebody watching the product. So they call me back there and says, "Oh, Joe, meet so and so, nice, good looking guy and everything." And he knows that he's telling him I'm a good errand boy. I'm a real good errand boy, everything else. And he's more or less asking me, do I want to make X amount of dollars being a courier? For what? Carrying the mail? No, trying to carry cocaine from point A to point B. And this guy was talking these numbers, big numbers. And I says, I have to think about it. I really have to think about it. So Sam figured, oh, you're going to talk to Mickey, my godfather, and throw that around him, because I would want Mickey right there to feel safe. I'd want him to feel safe. And I kind of so he was going to be in town for a week or 2 weeks, because they're going to network. The Colombians were going to network west here, and then Sam could hook him up with Cleveland and all points west, maybe another point north, and set that up. Sam was very, very, very wealthy, and I don't know what kind of history they had. I didn't ask any questions, because Sam could have been doing things behind the scenes with this guy. I'm not privy to all that information. So I said, I got to think about it and whatnot. So I get a hold of my godfather, Mickey, and I run it by him and everything else in so many words. And he says, I'll talk to him, but you want out, Joe, if you want out, and I'll arrange some other things, and I'll guarantee delivery or whatever, how they're going to set up the distribution. And so the guy was real nice. Sam more or less updated him on what I did and everything else. Just I'm a nobody and everything, just trying to make $1 here or there. And so about maybe a month or so goes by, and I'm at the office trying to sell steel, and Sam calls, hey, come on up, come up. Take a ride up to the falls. So I get up there, and the guy's there, and he had a little envelope for me. He gave me some cash, and he said, yeah, everything worked out with Mickey, and because Mickey knew the streets. He knew Brooklyn, Harlem, Bronx, Bensonhurst. He was the streets. And he knew everywhere. He knew if something was he could make something happen pertaining to that. But Bronx and Harlem was more or less established. But to bring more weight directly from the Colombians into a mob family directly is way more profitable. Because otherwise they're going to charge $38,000 a key versus 12, or however they structure that. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm just guessing. But that's going to be more profitable. And they set up everything. And then the guy was going to go back. The guy The guy was the Colombian was going to go back to Colombia for a while, and he had things structured, but they put together a powerful network, and I'm not sure about the other families of if they were still going to the Bronx and Harlem where their connections were for cocaine and maybe heroin, but this crew, this outfit was going straight to the source. A lot of times you'd have to go to Florida. They would go to Florida if people were doing that. Hypothetically, if people were doing that, they would go to Florida, close entry, boom, and everything else. And then go up the seaboard. But they were clean, good-looking businessmen. And I met another Colombian guy, cool, fluent English. The other guy, fluent English, well-educated, sharp cats that they just made that money. And I saw him another time, and he said he's retiring, and Sam was already planning on retiring, and the crew was kind of falling apart, and there were some bad actors in there, and there's enough going on within the mob family, crimes and everything, that I don't really know who was privy. I've known who about that Colombian, and the Colombians don't mess around. You see on TV, the Colombians do not mess around. They will not only kill you, they'll kill you and your whole family. They don't mess around. So when I left, that a lot of that crew disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. Could be a number of things. I would only be guessing, but that was it for me. But the families dealt it, but a lot of the source was Harlem and Bronx. But some of the Colombo family, the Colombians, same name almost. They did business and they made a lot of money. And some people came up when Sam retired. Some other people came up from New York. They knew my godfather and the Colombians, and I would guess they were keeping that network going. The whole Northeast that pushed westward, distribute the cocaine north from Florida and Colombia north, and then westward. The drugs moved from the south to the north, and then from the north, all points westward. They said they were retiring, and Sam and then the Colombian. There was another guy, and I had some conversations, friendly conversations and everything, and I just used to say, no, I mow the lawn, I give these guys the drinks at parties, and I don't really, I'm not really gonna carry anything. They said I had a good driving record, and I'm good, but I didn't have the cayunes for that, and I mean. I don't want to take that risk and do anything illegal like that where you're moving kilos all over the place. I could have probably put together $75,000, $100,000 in no time, but you get caught. It's 20 years. I want to live. I don't care. I'd rather be broken alive. So those Colombians, it's not always what you see, the treacherous ones. Yeah, they could be treacherous, but classy. And I think the Colombo family, I'm guessing, I think the Colombo family had an advantage over the other families that weren't getting their drugs straight from Colombia. I don't know for sure, but maybe. See, if they were buying from the dealers, if the Mafia was buying from the dealers from Harlem and the Bronx, it'd be a higher price. So the Colombians saw an opportunity to sell more weight to other people, not just those boys in the Bronx and Harlem. And those were mostly the blacks and Puerto Ricans that were selling there. High-ranking, bad mamma jammas over there. Their own organized crime. It's just not the Mafia. There's other organized crime. And you can't just go waltzing over there. You know, we won't get into that. Like, who's tougher, the Mafia? That, you know, no. Anybody could pull a trigger. So they were getting it, however, wholesale or not. But the other families weren't getting it wholesale until maybe later, where very, very, very well, more profitable. I mean, they were high-ranking people. You know, these high-ranking people were doing ounces of cocaine in weekend parties. I mean, they were a lot of money. They spend, and you're gonna get pure cocaine straight from the Medellin cartel, Colombia, and they're gonna make a lot of money. I saw guys happenstance. I was only running around them for a half a minute, and there was times a guy pulled out a huge. I was like, "Hey, get that away from me! Oh my gosh, you got that in my car? No, we gotta figure something out. Yeah, you know, get that out of my car. I don't want to know nothing." So thank you, Big J Biz. I wanted to do a quick video about those Colombians and cocaine and mob families. Yeah, the mob sold cocaine. The mob sold heroin. And if anybody tells you they didn't, that's some bullshit. Mike Francis will tell you this or that, blah, blah, whatever. And he was with the Colombos, okay? He was with the Colombos. So if Mike Francis was in New York and this was going on behind his back, so he can't just say, "Oh, that we didn't do that. We didn't do that." Well, maybe he just didn't know. Maybe he just didn't know. Not everybody in these families just know everything, all the information that is out there. People do things in the shadows, and other people just aren't aware of it. You know, because the New York Colombos would have been pissed off at the Niagara Falls Colombos and said whatever. And Sam, the Niagara Falls boss, would have just told them down there, "Screw off. Do what you got to do. There ain't no punks. They ain't no punks." But they wouldn't confront it because they were doing the same thing. They were doing the same thing. Forget those other mob channels that talk all that other stupid shit. So my godfather ran side by side and made sure some things went well during those transactions. I don't want to be around. No, I do not want to be around. No Colombians, nice, classy, good-looking guys. But when they're in the middle of a deal, no, I don't want to. No, I don't care if they were going to give me $10,000 to just say go from here to Cleveland for $10,000. No, nope. 10,000 a week. Nope, not me. I'd probably be doing life in prison. So, thank you, folks. The channel's been going up good. Thank you, Big J Biz, for helping out, helping me here. And that's that. It's a beautiful hot summer day. I'm making some pot roast in the slow cooker, trying to cook. And I'll just keep doing these stories, just try to keep the channel going and everything. And I got another Colombian story that stay tuned. I got another Colombo, the Colombians in New York with my godfather. And my godfather was going to do some work, and he didn't know that this other guy owed the Colombians. He was trying to do some with the lower level Colombians, I think in the Bronx or Harlem, trying to do a little undercover deal behind the scenes, and that got a little shaky. And I got to remember a little more about that, but I'll do another with the Colombians. The Colombians were running around New York City. They would come and they'd go. So thank you, folks. God bless you all. I hope you had a nice holiday. Summer is upon us. Everything's good. Thank you, Debbie. My sister brought me gifts, new shirt. I'm going to be 60 years old. Coffee is my fuel. Thank you, Debbie. She brought me cards and gifts and everything else. And I appreciate that. She brought me gifts and shirts and a cake and everything else. So thank you, Deb. My sister looks after me. So prayers for Shapesky's father. Power of God and Jesus. That's what we're going to do. That's good, Shapesky. The power. So thank you, folks. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to do another Colombia Scarface. I put that in the thumbnail because somebody will see Scarface and it might attract more viewers. But other than that, whoever it attracts, it attracts. I got my crew in here and I enjoy it. I'm not going to be monetized or any of that. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And I'll probably do one tomorrow or for the next day. And some of these Colombian kingpins, they're floated around up at the club a few times. So, yeah. I don't know how to do that scheduling because I do everything haphazard. Shapesky, I throw it on the wall. Whatever sticks, it sticks because I ain't going to make myself crazy on no YouTube channel. I already did all that craziness before. When I'm on here, I'm on here. That's all I could tell you, bro. God bless everybody. Have a great day.